You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button. Check in with Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger. Shea, we appreciate you being flexible, man. How are you?
Hey, Matt, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, man. Hey, let's start with the big weekend for LSU on the defensive line. We talked about the 3 guys that LSU landed, and the expectation was they were going to get all 3. They did. Zion Williamson. Shea, I'm going to do it. I think we're all going to do it. Zion Williams, Brandon Brown, and then, of course, Shanklin, the edge out of Indiana. What's the big takeaway from that haul this weekend?
Yes, none of them play for the Pelicans. Yes, Zion Williams. We will be making that mistake. Look, let's start with the edge rusher spot and give Kevin Peoples some flowers here. This is who Blake Baker brought down with him from Missouri. He was the edge rusher coach at Missouri, defensive ends coach, however you want to put it. And really, 2 weeks ago, landed Jesse Harold, a top 100 guy out of Florida, and then turns around and goes into Indiana, grabs the number 1 player in the state and another top 100 edge rusher in Damian Shanklin. And Shanklin picked LSU over a final 3 of Ohio State, Bama, and LSU. So he did all 3 visits. Then he announced. And for him to pick LSU, I think, in the wake of Jesse Harold doing the same, Kevin Peoples, 5 months onto the job, having 2 top 100 edge rushers as his 2 commitments is pretty commendable.
Yeah. The big surprise from the weekend, Shea, had to be Decorian Moore. I don't think many of us expected him to pick LSU, but everyone expected him to pick Texas. Instead, it was Oregon. What went down there?
Hey, you got me, Matt?
Yep. I don't know if you heard the question. I was asking about Decorian Moore.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Moore obviously once committed to LSU back in August, stayed committed till the spring, then reopened things. And for the second time, everybody, in the Texas kind of circle thought he was going to end up with the Longhorns. Obviously, the Texas has got some NIL money. A lot of people thought that would be a major factor in it. And then his mom has been adamant publicly that if she were to choose, her choice would be Texas because they have family in Austin, all of that. And what do you know? He goes out and announces for the Oregon Ducks. And look, Dan Lanning is on a hot streak. They landed a 5-star in Dorian Brew at corner. His dad, Derek Brew, ran track at LSU, went on to run in the Olympics as well, gold medalist. But he ends up at Oregon. They've landed a handful of other players in this stretch. And now there's buzz around DJ Pickett. So I just think that Oregon got hot. And at the same time, and it's no secret, they have, say it's Phil Knight money, say it's Nike money, whatever it is, but their NIL push this cycle is, to this point, bigger than anybody else's we've seen, whether that be Texas, Miami, or, kind of any other of those kind of 3, 4, 5 schools that are very well known for, hey, we've got some money and we're going to put it into NIL. So we'll see if it sticks. Obviously, look, Decorian Moore is the best receiver in the country. So LSU will keep recruiting him. I'm just curious to see if he doesn't stick with Oregon, or are we going to do a round 3 at some point? But yeah, big win for the Ducks there. And LSU kind of moves and has continued to move on to other receivers and make them priorities so that they aren't left at the altar by just chasing a couple of guys.
Shea Dixon's with us on 3, the Bengal Tiger. You're speaking of Oregon, DJ Pickett, the number 1 cornerback in the country. Shea, that the top 2 uncommitted corners are Pickett and Jabari Antoine. LSU's got a hat on the table for both those guys. I know the On3 recruiting prediction machine, which you and I have talked about, has LSU as the favorite, but it feels like there is a lot of momentum for Pickett to Oregon, and he'll announce next week on the 17th. What can you tell us there?
Heading into, this is a guy when Corey Raymond got hired, and DJ Pickett is from Florida. Sort of the Cliff's notes here would be, as soon as he got hired, he visited in January, right before the dead period. Pickett did. And then when I talked to him at the On3 Elite Series a month ago, he said, look, I've visited LSU 5 times now in 5 months, all on my own dime. And now I've got my official in June. And going into that stretch of officials, LSU was considered the team to beat. And this is a guy early on who LSU had in touch with Patrick Peterson's family about going through the process of being a 5-star number 1 corner coming out of Florida. He's been in touch with a number of former LSU players throughout the process. He was on the phone recently with Derek Stingley and others. I mean, they are sort of all the bells and whistles. Patrick Peterson flew in the same weekend DJ Pickett's official visit was. So however you want to describe prioritizing a corner, DJ Pickett, that's what LSU's done for him. We thought it would be Miami that would be the team to watch as, hey, look, they're in Florida. They've got the NIL money. Maybe they come in at the end, but they could also have a shaky season. For him to push the date up and Oregon to make this big splash that they have, suddenly be into the Final 3 in the eyes of many, I think is got LSU in a spot where they're saying, hey, look, we've done all we can. Now we've got to find a way to do even more. So I don't think that Oregon is going to outspend LSU here NIL-wise. And my guess is based upon how much I know he is a need for this staff. I mean, this is a guy with, you want to turn around the corner room, the best corner in America is DJ Pickett, and he's the number 3 overall prospect, right behind Bryce Underwood and DeCorian Moore. So this is a guy they had their sights set on from the start. Hopefully for LSU, it goes their way here in about a week. But again, if it doesn't, if it is Oregon, it's not going to change anything with how badly LSU will want him and will recruit him. But I think we'll know more as we get closer to decision day.
Shea, you were spot on with the 3 defensive linemen that all picked LSU. You got any other Magic 8-Ball sayings over there, predictions for who might be next for LSU?
Yeah,
keeping an eye on?
I love D linemen and O linemen. Very low maintenance. They really will just tell you where they're going and makes it rather easy to figure out.
Oh man.
But no, the DBs and the receivers, right? They're a little bit more tough. I think that Saturday is one to watch for LSU fans. Derek Meadows, a top 10 receiver who made an official visit to LSU, was thought to be a Notre Dame lock. Now it's come down to LSU and Bama, and I really think LSU's trending in a big way there. Given, look, they've got Bryce Underwood. They had the number 1 offense in college football, all of that. And then at the same time, Philip Wright out of Destrehan, who has an offer, has LSU in his Final 3. He's going to announce on Saturday. He had some phenomenal track times in the spring. He came to camp and got injured, pulled up with his hammy during testing, so didn't get to do the 1-on-1s and 7-on-7, but they're still going after him. When you've got a kid like that in Louisiana from Destrehan that's got that kind of speed and that, a lot of his traits fit what they're looking for. So Michigan is kind of trended for a long time as the team that is thought to be the team he will commit to this weekend. We'll see if Frank Wilson and them don't shake that up. And I'll say this, if he commits to Michigan this weekend, I don't think that I'm going to blink an eye. I'll look towards signing day for an in-state kid. My guess is if they continue to push for Philip Wright as much as or as hard as they are right now, I should say, then I expect that he will end up at LSU by signing day.
Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger. He's on Twitter at Shea Dixon or X. Y'all go give him a follow. Make sure you get all your recruiting news there. Shea, we always appreciate the visit, man. Thanks for being flexible today.
Absolutely. Let's talk again next week.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.